Hey everybody, I know it's late. I'm not gonna be on here long. Doesn't matter who's on here. I just came here to uh, share what God put in my heart and what God put on my spirit. Um, we go through things. We go through situations. We go through trials. We go through tests. We go through a lot of things, and we try to do them on our own and by ourselves. But then there comes a time when God allows you to know, and He lets you know you can't do it alone. You can't do this one by yourself. So I'm going to send you help. And God will send you the help that you need for the situation that you've got to go through. And I'm speaking to something that I'm living right this very moment. There's a situation that I am going through in my family. Um, a health crisis right now. And what I know the Lord has told me in the last 24 hours is that I have instructions for you to do, but you can't do it alone. You can't do it by yourself. You're going to need help to this. And so He gave me the individuals to reach out to. He gave me what to tell them. And I did as He instructed. And every individual that He laid on my heart to contact has stood in agreement and said that they would do what I have asked for them to do. Because there are some things that you need your brother, you need your sister, you need their help, you need their support, you need their covering on some things, because some things are just a little bit hard. One of those things that I ain't gonna be able to do this one by myself. Or we may think, yeah, you know what, I got this, God, I can do this by myself. I got it. And God's like, no, you really don't have this one. You're gonna need some help. And so I just want to tell somebody, whatever you're going through, if it's a thing that that you're feeling God or you're feeling the Holy Spirit tell you that you cannot do this by yourself, that you can't do it alone, listen to what the Spirit is telling you. Reach out to the individual or individuals that He tells you to, not that you pick because they're your friend or you think, hey, they can handle this. They may not be the ones that God has for you in the situation that you're going through. So you have to do what God is telling you to do. You have to go to the people that God gives you to go to and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what the Spirit is telling me. And He told me to come to you and ask you to do X, Y, Z, or whatever it is. For me, it was to ask them to cover me as I do the assignment that God has given me for the next few weeks. That was what I was supposed to do. And so I am a person, I am not going to lie, that I like to just say, I'm strong, I got it, I don't need no help. I don't like to ask for help. I'm going to just, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to just struggle my way through. But there are times when God is telling us, you can't always struggle your way through. You can't always just push and plug your way through. You're going to need some help. You're going to need some covering, because what you're about to step into is something that's a little bit harder for you, a little bit more of a struggle for you, because you gotta step in and intercede for somebody else. And so while you're interceding for them, while you're taking the brunt of whatever it is that you're interceding for them on, you're gonna need somebody to cover you while you're doing the interceding. And we cannot have too much pride. We cannot have too much pride that we say, no, God, I got this. Nope, nope. I can do this. No, we can't have too much pride. We have to be obedient, because God doesn't tell us to do things that He doesn't already know what the outcome will be if we do it and if we don't do it. God doesn't tell us to do things because He's just telling us to do it. for thrills and fun. He's telling us to do these things because he already knows you're going to need this. You're going to have this. You may not think so. You may not even see it right now, but you're going to need somebody to cover you. Because the journey that you're on, this kind of intercession that I'm taking you into, you haven't been at it on this level before. You haven't had to war like this before. So in order for you to keep it up and be able to do it, you've got to have somebody that's covering you. So now I understand why Bishop has done boots on the ground, why he has talked about warfare in the month of October for us. I get it, because I'm going to need help. I'm going to need somebody covering me while I'm covering somebody else. And it is so amazing how God is so strategic in how he does things, in how he has things come about. He's very strategic in it. We don't understand. We may not know, but God already knows before we even get there. So the situation that I'm in now, God knew in 2024, I was going to be here doing this tonight. I was going to be in this situation, and that he was going to give me instructions. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to give you the instructions, but are you going to follow through? I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'm going to give you the battle plan strategy. I'm going to give you the orders. Are you going to follow those orders, or are you going to do it your own way? Are you going to deviate from it? Or are you going to ignore the intel that I'm giving you? Because I'm telling you, daughter, this is what you're going to need. So are you going to do that? Or are you just going to try to just, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to do it on my own. I got this. I got this. No. That's not how we are to do things. If we are truly gonna walk according to what God is telling us and truly be obedient, then we gotta follow the art. We gotta follow the orders. We gotta follow the blueprint. We gotta follow the strategic plan that he gives us, the strategy that he gives us. We have to follow it. I don't know what these next few weeks are gonna hold for me in the assignment that he's given me, but what I do know is that I have done the first part of what he told me, and I have reached out to the people that he told me to ask to cover me as I'm doing this assignment. I've done that. And I know because out of my obedience of doing that, that God is going to honor and he's going to get me through my assignment. Because when I tell you with tears in my eyes, this is a hard assignment, it's a hard assignment. It's a hard assignment. This ain't no easy assignment for me that God has given me to do. It's not. It's not an assignment that I ever thought I would have to have or would need to do. But you know what I do know? God knew that I would be here. And God knew that this day was coming. And he knew what I was going to need. And so when God gives us the strategy, when God gives us the instruction, when he tells us what it is that we are to do, we need to do it. We need to follow it because we don't know. We have no idea what's down the road. I don't know what's going to happen over these next few weeks. But what I do know is this. I know that God told me to have these people cover me as I walk through what I got to walk through. And I'm telling you, God is amazing, because I didn't know that Bishop was going to have us talking about, or he was going to be talking about boots on the ground. And a lot of times we get tired, we get frustrated, we get weak. And I'm being honest, that's the way I have been for a while. And then boom, the situation happened. And I'm just like, okay, God, I can't, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't, God, I'm tired. This hurts. This. But God will send people to you to encourage you. And that's what he did for me today. I wasn't coming to church. I wasn't feeling well. I had a lot going on. I was preparing to do something else. And I looked at the service, and the Spirit was like, you gotta go. I couldn't just sit there. So I got up, I got dressed, and I went. And God used 3 different people to minister to me, because I have to be in the place that I need to be in order to do what I gotta do over the next few weeks. And in order for me to do that, I needed a release of some stuff that I was holding on to. And the enemy knows how to come at you. The enemy knows how to start his attack on you. For me, it's a personal thing in a situation that happened over 30-some years ago. So the enemy knows I got to attack. I can attack her right here, because that's a fear that she has. So if I get her there, I got a grip on her. So now she can't move. She kind of stuck. This has come out of nowhere, and she really don't know what to do. So now she's running herself ragged. She's getting sick. She's getting worn out. And I was. But when I tell you today, God released that thing off of me so that I can get in a place for him to give me my instructions of what I'm supposed to do. And then he was like, these are the 3 people that I need you to reach out to. And I need you to tell them this, and this. And ask them if they will do this. And they all said yes. Because we can't always think that we can do it all by ourselves. Because we can't. There are some things that we are going to need each other for. There are some times that, yeah, God's going to have you interceding. But when that thing is one of them hard things, one of them deep things, one of them real like hard warfare kind of things, God will tell you, you're going to need somebody to cover you while you going through this. Why? Because if the enemy can't get the person that you're covering, what is his next objective? To get the person that's doing the covering. So you need to have somebody covering you while you're covering somebody else. And that's what I got. Because it's not an easy thing. I've been sick since August the 26th, when I got the news of the situation that I'm in right now. So we're talking about 2 months that I have been or a month and a half at least, that I've literally physically been ill. Couldn't understand it, didn't know what was going on until now. Because the enemy has taken something that he knows that I hadn't fully given to God to get released from, and he started right there. Whoop, there's an opening, there's a door, there's an opening, there's a door, there's an opening. But God's like, no. She gonna realize, because I'm gonna bring it to her. You gotta let that go, because now I need you to fight. I need you to fight. I need you to war for this person, because they're not gonna be able to do that kind of warring that kind of way. So I need you to do it, but then I need you to have people to cover you, because you're interceding and covering that person in that battle that they're in. The enemy is going to want to come at you and attack you, because he can't attack them. And I don't think we always get that. That we need to have people covering. So when God gives you the instructions, be obedient to the instructions. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And it may not be for anybody else, but I know for me, I know what God has told me what my 2024 is all about. And it's about one word. It's obedience. So I have to be obedient. I have to do that. So I was obedient and I've done that. And so now I have to do the rest of the instructions that he's given me. And I just believe and I stand on that God is going to do exactly what he said he's going to do in this situation. And so I just came on here just to say we can't always do everything by ourselves. And I know I'm one of those, I don't like to ask for help. You know, I think, hey, I'm the strong one, I got this. But there are times when you don't have it. And you need to ask for help. Because God already knows that you're going to need the help. So when he gives you the strategy, when he gives you the blueprint, when he gives you what you're supposed to do, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Try the Spirit by the Spirit. Just do it. Because every time God has told me to reach out to the individuals that he tells me to reach out to, they always do exactly what God has told me to reach out and ask them to do. So I just wanted to say that we can't do it alone. And that God will send you the help that you need. He'll send it to you. He will definitely send it to you. Now, whether or not you take it, whether or not you're obedient and you follow the instructions that he says, that's on you. But he gives us a way of escape. He gives us the instructions. He gives us the blueprint. And our job is just to follow it. That's all. It's just to follow it. And God blesses the obedience. He blesses the obedience. He blesses the obedience. He blesses the obedience. And we look for the blessing in one way, but God blesses it in a totally different way sometimes than what we're looking for. So, hi Prophetess Brown, hi Minister Anitra. That's all I really came on here to say. I'm usually not on here a whole lot. Especially at night, not like I used to a few years ago, but God's gonna bring that back, I'm sure too. But tonight I just felt led to say this, that you can't do it alone and that God will send you the help when you need it. And it's not something that I'm telling you that he just told me. It's something that I'm literally having to walk out right now in real time, in a real moment, that he has done that and he's doing that. And that my job is to follow the instructions, follow the blueprint that he's given me, follow the strategies that he's given me, and know that he's got it. Thank you, sis. And know that he has it. And know that he's going to see me through these next few weeks that I have to go through. And again, didn't see it coming. You couldn't have told me in January that I'd be sitting here in October going through what we're going through right now. You couldn't have told me that. But God knew when January came in what my October, my November, and my December would look like. Just like he knows what my 2025 will look like. I don't know it, but he knows it. But I do believe my obedience in this situation affects everything else that comes after this. How I handle this affects everything else that God is about to do in my life. And it doesn't just affect me. It affects the person that I'm interceding for. It affects my son. It affects his family whenever God blesses him with one. It affects his children whenever God blesses him with his wife and his children. So it's not just affecting me. It is affecting generations that are beyond me. Just like the prayers that my mother, Mother Davis, prayed for me. She's not here. But God has allowed my sister Delma to be here to see the fruit of her timber, the fruit of her prayers that she labored and prayed for me when I was out of the will of God, wilding out, doing whatever it is I thought I could do. But her prayers are not just for me, they are for my son, and they're for his children's children. They're for 4 generations back. But I had to fall into line in order for that to happen. Her obedience affects what God did for me. My obedience affects what happens behind me. It's not about us. It is not about us. It is about those that are attached to us. It's about those that come behind us. It's about the message, the witness, and the testimonies that have to be given. Because people still need to know that God does miracles, God does signs and wonders. And the doctors need to know God is giving you so far to go in a situation. And when you get to as far as he's allowed you to go, then God has to let you know, I do the rest. I do the miracle. I do the miracle. I do the miracle. I give you the knowledge to go as far as you can go. But then I step in and I do the miracle that is to be taught and to be showed and to be witnessed by others, including you, the doctor that I've given you the knowledge to. Because in the situation that I'm in, the doctors still don't understand. The doctors still don't have all of the knowledge. They're still confused. But I will say this, God is using this situation to make a miracle out of my mother. A miracle to them. Because the things that they're looking to be going on right now, they're not going on. Why? Because God is in control. Because God is totally and completely in control of this. So thank you for those of you that, hopped on. I appreciate it. Like I said, didn't get on here for anybody to hop on. Got on to do what I needed to do. For those of you to run across it again, thank you. I pray that it blesses you. I pray that it encourages you. And I pray that you really understand and know that we can't do it alone all the time. And that God sends us help for those moments and those times when we cannot do it alone. All right, you all be blessed. Have an awesome, wonderful night and an awesome and great week.